Hi guys, welcome to this channel. In this video we are doing Python course from scratch, and in this video we are covering for introduction to Python, then introduction to Python object types and its operations. In the coming videos we'll be taking these topic further. It is a full Python course. So let me just straight away come to this Google Colab. Google Colab is makes very easy to get started with Python. You don't have to download Python or any of IDE. You just need to Google Colab and then go and then log in using your Gmail account. So you'll come across this page. Next, if you want to code along with me, or you can just go back and forth in the video as per your wish. So just go to File, click on New Notebook. So Google Colab is makes it very easy for you to code in Python. So first we'll start with introduction to Python. So the first question that comes to our mind is, why do people use Python? Because the reason is that big tech giants are using Python for various purposes. Like Google make extensive use of Python in its web search system. Then YouTube video sharing service is largely written in Python, and the Dropbox storage service code, both its server and desktop client software, is primarily in Python. So these big tech giants are using Python. Then what we can do with Python, or as a learner, what you can do with Python is you can really accomplish real world tasks, like the sorts of thing developer do day in and day out. Like it is a very commonly used in variety of domain as a tool for scripting other components and implementing standalone programs. Like it's a general purpose language. Like Python roles are virtually unlimited. You can just use it everything from website development to gaming to robotics. You can do system programming, you can do graphic user interface programming, or you can do internet scripting, component integration, database programming. So there is a lot that you can do with Python, and it's very portable, it's free, it's powerful. So all these advantages, and all the big tech giants using Python makes it a very famous language, a very popular language. Everybody is learning this. So and implementing code through this. So it definitely makes a it definitely makes integrate someone to just learn Python and get started with it. So next, like this was an introduction to Python. Now we'll quickly come to uh, introduction to our first topic in Python, that is object types. So just hold on a minute. So first, to get started with Python, we'll first need to download some libraries. So we will be importing libraries. So first we'll import pandas as PD. Then we'll import NumPy as NP. We'll also import math. And basically these are modules. Like how the code structure is, first we have a module, then in module we have statements, then in statements we have expressions, and in expressions we have objects. So these libraries are modules. Like we don't need to write each and every code that is written in pandas library. We can just directly import this module and use it. So in pandas, NumPy, math, all these modules are basically for numeric analysis, and we'll import these. We'll also use a shortcut like in Google Colab. You need to just, once you write a code in a cell, you can just click on alt enter. What that will do is that will run this cell as well as take you to the next cell. So just I'm just using the shortcut alt plus enter. So so you can see like this cell is running and we have moved on to the next cell. So our topic is object type. So let me just quickly, by the time this runs, I'll just quickly go to various object types in Python. So we have, so the code is run, we don't have any errors. We have imported these libraries. So the different object types that we have are numbers, then we have strings, then we have list, then we have dictionary, then we have tuples, then we have files, we have sets, then we have other code types, program unit types, implementation related types. So let's quickly move to numbers. So numbers are basically any integer or floating point with decimal or a complex number. All these are comes under number. So we'll quickly move to number and their operations. So we'll in this first day we'll take numbers and strings. Then in the next session we'll take list and dictionary. So we'll go step by step. So let's declare a variable x and just perform a addition like 1 2 3 plus 2 3 4 and we'll print x. So again alt plus enter. So it has given us a it has returned us a number, addition of these two numbers. Then we'll perform an operation on floating point, like let's take a variable y. We have declared a variable y, then 1.5 into 2.3 and then we'll print y. The first statement just calculates it but doesn't print it. Like if I run y and I press control enter, the code is run, but to print y either we need to specify that we need to get y, or we can just write print y. So this is the result. Then for exponential calculations, 2 stars are needed. Like we'll declare another variable z and let's calculate an exponent 50. So again to print z we'll type print z alt plus enter and this is the result. So again one might want to calculate the length of this number of digits in it. So to calculate the number of how big this number is, we can use a function called length. So it is shortly written as len. So just write len, then we'll convert z into a string. For that we'll use a function str, then we'll just write z. It will tell us, so first we have converted z in a string, then we have calculated its length. So let's press control and enter and see how many digits it has. It has 24 digits. So these are the operation in numbers. Then you can calculate, then you have this, we have imported math library. Initially you can see we have imported math library. So in math library there are other for other calculation, like if you have to calculate square root, so we can use math library. Like we'll first go to math module, then to a function square root to calculate square root of 64. Press control alt plus enter and it will tell us 8. Then then another library we can import is random, import random. So this comes under like numbers only, like the libraries that are there in numbers, the modules there are in numbers, and what kind of operations we can do with numbers. So then after importing random, just calculate a random number. by going into random library and using random function. So it gives us a random number. If I again run this cell, it will give me some other random number, because it is giving us random number every time. So let's calculate if we want to find a random choice. So we'll go to random module, then choice function, then we'll declare few variables out of which we need to choose randomly. So let's see 1, 4, 6, 9, 10. So if we run this cell, it will randomly choose out of these 5 numbers. So it has randomly chosen 1. Let's run it again. Again 1. Then it has randomly chosen 9. So it is randomly choosing. These are so random is for generating a random number, and random and choice function is for randomly choosing out of these given numbers. Let's click on code button to get another cell. So next we'll come to string and their operation. So string are used to record both textual information like your name, for instance, as well as arbitrary collection of bytes such as image, file contents, or numbers, or whatever, complex number, float. And string is a sequence. So you need to remember, like, string is a sequence, list is a sequence. So what the operation we can do in string, we can also do in list. List is an object type we have initially talked about. So we'll go in detail after that, like numbers, strings, list, dictionary, tuples are all object types. So we have performed some of the operations in numbers. Then we go to string, then we go to list. So what I'm saying is string is a kind of a sequence and list is also a kind of a sequence. So when the kind of operation that we can do in strings, we can also do those operation in list as well, because list is also a sequence and string is also a sequence. So let's declare a string like spam. So a spam string is declared. Now if I want to calculate length of this string, how many alphabets are there, and I can just use a len function and write s in that function, and it will tell us like 4 is the length of the string. Now now each alphabet, the position of that alphabet is called an index of that string. So and it is a zero based position, like the first alphabet would be indexed as 0, then P would be 1, then A would be 2, and M would be 3, like 0 1 2 3 in this way. So the first S is indexed as a 0 position. So to access that value, we need to just access it by using that S is a string and then square brackets, and then 0 is the index position of the value S. So we can index, index we get S. Similarly, if we write S then 1, then we will find the value of P. So now if you want to access the last element of the string, so there are two ways. First, hard way is that you don't know the length of the string initially, so you'll use the function length function and write S and -1, because the indexing is from 0. So this will give you the last value in the string. So this is a completely long version that we get M. So in a shortcut way, you can just directly write inverse indexing, in which the first is 0 and the last is -1. So you can directly access M. Similarly, if you write S -2, you will get A. So this is how it's done. Then there is also slicing and indexing. This we have gone through indexing. Now we'll go to slicing. Now slicing in a string is, after all these operations also, S will remain the same. Like if we print S, then it is still spam. Like nothing has been changed in spam. So now if we slice it, like for slicing we'll write it as square brackets 1:3. Now what it does is, now 1 is the index position of P. Now the A has an indexing of 2 and M has an indexing of 3. So how it will slice it is from first to third but not including third. So S is not included because S is 0, P is 1, A is 2, M is 3. So P from P to M but not M. So it will print PA. So that's how like slicing is done in strings. So you can also write like this way, from 0 to 3. So from 0 to last but not including the last one. So it is printing SPA. Now another thing that we can do is like, right, other than not writing 0 comma 3, we can even write it in a short form by just writing colon 3, and it will still print the same it will still perform the same operation. And if we write just colon, it will print the whole string. So these are few operations. Then we have concatenation. So for concatenation, we can just add x, y, z and enter. So now this is concatenated. Another operation is by multiplying it with a numeral. So it will repeatedly print tam 8 times. And after performing all these operations also, s, the string s is the same. Like if we print s string has not changed. So it doesn't has to be in caps. So then we'll run again. So string s is the same. We have performed number of operations. So we can see like we can perform number of operations, but the string would remain the same. So the string won't change. We have like done in numbers. We have done like some of the operation in strings. We have done like indexing and then slicing. So all these operations are also in list also. In next session we'll cover list and then dictionary, and we'll take this further. This was the first day one for like Python from scratch. So I hope you must have like learned something. You can continue watching this series to master Python along with us. And thank you, and you can subscribe to this channel so that you can click the bell notification to get the notification for the next video, and then you can follow along with us by subscribing to this channel. You can also like and comment your doubts in the comment section. If you have any doubt, I'll try my best to reply as soon as possible, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.